Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today, and if you want to call in, 323-870-3857. But let's get it started with the DAZN pay-per-view. Beeb, you know how I feel about pay-per-views. Did you buy this one?
Of course.
How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, look at this. Titletown adds another one. Columbus Crew. How about that? Titletown, baby. Full of champions right here, Ohio. All right, speaking of champions, Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis for Prograis's WBC 140-pound title. Before we even get into this, what did you think when you saw the giant werewolf coming right behind Regis? Was that the best thing ever or what?
That was a good entrance.
Where in the world do you find that thing at?
That was cool.
I mean, like, really, him and Jake Paul and that robot, they got him and this big werewolf. Come on, man. That was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. His big headdress he had on, that was pretty cool too. You know, that was all right, man. Unfortunately for Regis, that was about it, man. Haney dominated this fight. Dominated Regis for the full 12 rounds. All three judges, how dominant was it? All three judges saw it the same, 120, 107. Haney dropped Prograis in the third. It was a perfect right hand. It was almost like a 1-2 almost, wasn't it, Beeb? I think it was more of a 1-2 than just a – at first I thought it was a counter right, but then I watched it again. I was like, that looked like a 1-2, man.
Kind of blinded him with the jab, and then he just came over the top with the right hand.
And he was at that perfect angle. He was almost like diagonal to him when he landed that shot.
Yeah, turned him. He was turning him all night, man. He wasn't standing in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
He would get his shots off. He was gauging the distance beautifully, and he just kept turning them. And Regis had to keep resetting his feet. It was
that footwork, man. That footwork of Haney was second to none last night.
It was amazing how much quicker Devin Haney's feet were than Prograis. Like, Prograis was never a guy who was blazing on his feet, but
he wasn't slow.
Yeah, that was.
You know what I mean? He's not slow.
Haney made him look like he was in quicksand yesterday.
Yeah, he really did. He really did, man. It was bad. He dropped him in the third round. Haney's speed just definitely too much for him. Prograis, now listen, man, I know it was one-sided, and I know it was all, but I tell you what, Prograis was trying in this fight. He was coming forward. It was like he just couldn't pull the trigger, and that wasn't his fault. That was Devin Haney's fault. This was Haney's best performance by far. It was a good rebound after that, fight against Loma. I thought he lost to Loma, but listen, man, he establishes himself as the guy to beat. I really believe that. Yeah. He is the only one fighting live bodies right now. Well, you could say, well, Tank fought Ryan. Well, where's Tank been?
Yeah.
Where's he been? What are you living off something you did a year ago?
Now they're saying that he's going to rematch. The rumor is I'm not so sure how true this is, but they're saying he's going to rematch Isaac Cruz. I don't know. I mean,
he doesn't want to fight Isaac Cruz again. He said he just came out on Twitter or something like that, one of the social medias, and said, why are you crying? I beat you with one hand last time.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't want to fight that. And let me tell you what, Isaac Cruz has looked awful in his last couple fights.
Yeah, that win.
He has looked awful. Good luck selling that one.
Yeah, that win didn't age well for Tank, not at all. I was just hearing rumors that they're floating that out there.
Oh, I've been hearing that too. I've been hearing the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is.
And after the fight, Ryan Garcia tweeted out that he wants to face Devin Haney next. All right. Yeah, we'll see. He tweets out after everybody wins. I already tweeted out Deontay Wilder last time. After the fight, Prograis said it was the footwork and speed of Devin Haney that gave him trouble, which, yeah, we kind of got that, man. He said he just couldn't get to him. And I think the crazy part here is we both know, Beeb, how good Prograis is.
Yeah.
We favored, and he was just taken apart here. Listen, both you and I think we favored Haney to win.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have been surprised if Regis either made this fight close or won this fight.
Yeah.
It was.
I thought like Haney would probably win like 9-3,
Yeah.
maybe 8-4. Anyone that said they predicted a shutout or that Haney would be beating Regis up,
dominant,
beating him up, hurting him, knocking him down. There was points in this fight where I thought that maybe the corner was going to stop it because it was so one-sided. And even Jack Reese, even Jack Reese was going in the corner saying, you got to be busy or I'm going to consider stopping this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people can say what they want. We all know how this works. Sunday, the guy who loses, all of a sudden he's trash. 8 months ago,
sucks.
8 months ago, this guy was the best junior welterweight in the world. Now you go on Twitter. The next day. Oh, he was too old. He was overrated. He was slow. He was never really that good. Who did he ever beat?
Right.
Blah blah blah. I actually thought he beat Josh Taylor. That was a very close fight. Could have gone either way. I actually thought he edged it out.
I thought he beat. I thought Josh Taylor won that fight.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was super close.
Super
close. You can make a case for either guy winning the fight.
Correct.
That's how close it was.
But now, Josh Taylor was nothing. Now all of a sudden, Regis Prograis. These are two guys that were at the top of the division. Like I said, 8 months ago, this guy was considered the best at junior welterweight, and now he runs into a guy like Devin Haney, and Devin Haney did better than expected. And now people are like, oh well, he was supposed to do that. So he was supposed to go out there and win every round, beat this guy up, hurt him, knock him down, stun him, and stagger him on multiple occasions. Okay, I want to hear someone's breakdown that broke the fight down on
Friday
leading up to this fight.
Right, I want to hear the breakdown on Friday.
Yeah, I want to hear that breakdown where people thought this was going to play out exactly the way it did. I want to hear it. Bunch of friggin' frauds.
I completely agree, man. Again, 8 months ago, this fight was a pick'em. A lot of people were taking Prograis. Listen, man, we all knew Prograis was for real. He's a good fighter.
Robbie picked Prograis, and he always picks the favorites, but he picked the.
Well, that explains why he lost. He picked Prograis to win, to beat Haney.
Yeah.
D-Style
picked Haney. I was on a panel on Thursday, the round table, and here's the thing, man. I think D-Style, there was like 6 people on that panel. D-Style and myself were the only ones who picked Haney, and D-Style thought it was going to be like a 115 and 113.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thought Haney would win comfortably, but not that comfortably.
Wow. Notorious VC picked Prograis also.
There was again,
Mickey Bay said Mickey Bay predicted this. Yeah, Mickey Bay's a fighter. He doesn't count.
The odds makers don't always get it right, and people are like, oh, well, he was a 4-1 favorite. Okay. Ramirez was a 6-1 favorite last night. How'd that play out? Ebony Bridges
he laid an egg, didn't he?
Yeah, Ebony Bridges was a 7-1 favorite. How'd that play out? So the odds makers always get it right. And you know what? 3-1, 4-1. That's not the same as
crazy.
It's not crazy. I picked Teofimo Lopez when he was 4-1 against Lomachenko.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think who was it? Was it Notorious that said this? That he wants to see Teofimo and Devin Haney fight at 140. That's an insane fight.
That's a great fight.
Who do you even take in that? I think you got to favor Haney, but
I would favor Haney, but it's a.
But Teo is just so dynamic.
The problem with Teo, in my opinion, and we saw this in the Sandor Martin fight, when guys who are good outboxers and can control range and have decent foot speed, they'll give him problems. He's more of a counterpuncher guy. He likes guys that come to him, and against Lomachenko, he did fight on the front foot, more than usual that we're used to seeing him.
Yeah.
But again, Lomachenko was laying back, and Lomachenko was a lot shorter, and he couldn't get close to him. But Haney's a long, tall guy. Sandor Martin had some decent size to him too. A tall, long guy with some decent foot speed and hand speed. and that can box on the outside, well, I think that's going to be problematic with Teofimo Lopez. But again, still a pick 'em. Teofimo Lopez is a very athletic guy. He's a very gifted guy.
It's pick 'em.
It's a pick 'em fight. It's going to be a pick 'em fight, but I'm going
because
to
it's
lean
not like
Haney.
Teofimo's slow. It's not like Teofimo can't fight,
No.
and he's got power too. Yeah, he can put you away. Fight Doctor says Haney should get a spot in the top 10 pound for pound. Seriously? Top 10? Try top 5, son. Are you serious? How long has Haney been in my pound for pound, Beeb? Long time.
Yeah,
long time. I've been saying it for a while.
And this isn't an excuse, but this is an explanation. The guy's been at lightweight since he was 17 years old. And if you watch those last couple weigh-ins, weighing in at lightweight, this guy was emaciated. He looked like a skeleton in there.
He's a big dude.
You're not gonna tell me that weight cut wasn't affecting him. I'm not gonna accept that. Oh, you make it no. Again, at 140, I suspected he would be a much better fighter, and I believe I was right.
Yeah,
he's looked much bigger, much stronger. He had much more pop on his shots. I mean, he was hurting Prograis. Stunning him.
That's what Prograis said. And I tell you what, did you see Prograis' face at the presser? Man, he got busted up. I mean, his face was just entirely just bruised everywhere. And I'll tell you what, though, man, Prograis gave him his props. He gave Haney his, he said, hey, he was better than I was. He was faster. He said that he needs to work on footwork more and this and that, but Prograis owned it. I mean, and that's what you want from a champion. He didn't complain about any injuries or any nonsense, anything like that. People talking about Devin going to 147. I think it's way too early to tell. I think he's got to settle into his weight right now because I know he's still cutting to get to 140.
Yeah.
But, we'll see what happens.
And here's the thing. Crawford and Spence and Virgil Ortiz, they're all
going up in weight.
He already went to 154. I believe Crawford and Spence will end up fighting at 154 in the rematch. Mm-hmm. And Boots Ennis, he's busted out at the seams already at 147. So all those guys are going to end up going up, and that division is going to be wide open for Devin Haney when he decides. This guy's 25 years old. He hasn't even peaked yet. No. He hasn't even peaked yet. He's not even nowhere near his prime.
No, he is a generational fighter.
Yeah.
This last generation had Floyd Mayweather. I think here's Devin Haney.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of emerged himself out of all the fighters. He's kind of emerged as the main guy now. You know what I mean? He's not the money man yet. That's still Canelo. But Canelo's on the dark side of his career right now. Like it or not. He's been there for a minute.
He's on the other end. This was a guy that turned pro at 15 years old. He's been boxing for 18 years. He's had some wear and tear on his body. Still a great fighter, but he's not what he once was. He's slowing down Canelo. Sorry.
And he's also one of those fighters who can get in the ring at any point now and get old.
Correct.
That's where he's at. He's got he's like a car with 1 million miles on it.
Yes.
Since 15, he's been fighting pro.
Yes.
15. He's 18 years in. Come on, that's a long time. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body. That's a lot of wear and tear, man. King KO says Devin ain't no top 5, pound for pound, stop the cap. Just my opinion. Man. Nerd says, wow, if Haney's a generational talent, what is Loma who beat him? He's a generational talent too. We've never seen he's a first ballot Hall of Famer who Loma is. Yeah. And Loma didn't beat him in all fairness. I mean, I think he beat him, but judges said otherwise. So yeah. But I think they're both great fighters. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Loma's definitely a better fighter. One of the greatest fighters. You don't come out one fight, what is it? One title, two fights, and he gets a title shot and wins. And the way he's dominated former champions, current champions. Yeah, come on.
So if you want to use that logic, Lomachenko lost to Orlando Salido. So does that disqualify him from, you know what I mean? Like,
and that was a legit loss. Salido beat him. Legit loss. Yeah. It is what it is. Doesn't matter that he took a bunch of advantages and all that other stuff. Listen, he beat him. He beat him fair and square.
Like just because somebody loses, I mean, we just gonna throw him in the trash. I mean, I don't know, man. The expectations are just a little too unrealistic sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Gavin's Ghost says Boots needs a serious breakout fight already, long overdue. Couldn't
Yep.
agree more. Talk to his promoter. Who's his promoter? Oh, they're on Prime Video now. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, listen, they have a bunch of people at PBC, but the problem is those guys don't fight each other. You have this long list of talent over there that's not fighting anyone. And you figure, and we'll go over this in a minute, but the last Showtime fight is going to be on December 16th next week. And it's not a great card. You know what I mean? It's like a lukewarm card. I mean, it's better than the trash HBO put on in their last fight. What do they have? 2 chick fights and one other non-fight in there? Give me a break. I'm just saying. Who does Devin get next?
He may get like a voluntary defense against that Australian guy that was on the undercard. The guy that beat Montana Love, Paro.
He wasn't bad.
He
looked good. Montana Love's not that great though.
Paulie Malignaggi mentioned that, and then it sounds like something possible that could happen.
Yeah, and I like Montana Love. He's from Ohio, but he's not. I was surprised that he got signed to Matchroom with this big deal and everything. I mean, I never thought he was that good, but I also think that he wasn't brought along. Anytime you see anybody brought along, you got to go to that top ranked model, and they know how to bring people along. That's why, and we'll talk about Robsy Ramirez here in a minute, but I'll chime in on that. But, they know how to bring people along. So
they do. They most certainly do.
Yeah. Liam Paro versus Montana Love on the undercard here of this pay-per-view. Liam Paro knocked out Montana Love in the 6th. Again, man, Montana Love is he's a good fighter, but I don't think he's ready for prime time. This kind of showed you he wasn't ready for prime time. And again, I think it was the way he's brought along. The matchmakers and stuff are just different, and I think they have different goals from Matchroom to Top Rank. You know what I mean? And they know how to sell a fight and bring people up. And Matchroom just not the same deal. Not the same deal. And other companies as well. PBC, not the same deal. You know, it's just
that's true.
When a guy from Top Rank is, when he's going for a title shot, he's ready. Just is. And that was it for the DAZN pay-per-view. Right, Big? That was it. There was no other.
Come on, please.
So let's go to ESPN. Huh?
Whoa! There was a historic fight, man. Mio Yoshida, the single mom.
Oh, for Christ's sakes!
Won the IBF
against the porn star Ebony Bridges.
The IBF bantamweight champion. Ebony Bridges, the former champion now. Mio Yoshida, the single mom, had her daughter in the audience.
Well, she's got a daughter somewhere. She's a single mom.
Whoa!
I'm just saying, she's got to have a daughter somewhere. I mean, or a son.
She was in
somewhere.
the audience. She was in the audience, and she was so emotional. This was like an emotional moment for her. This was she was a 7-1 underdog, and she beat Ebony Bridges at her own game. She was gritty on the inside.
Wait, porn? I mean, what was her own game? What was Ebony Bridges' game?
Please.
Did she actually fight, or does she just do
Let's have some decorum. Let's have some decorum.
Video and stuff. I saw her on Brazzers the other day, didn't I?
Let's have
I don't know. It was looking like, I don't know.
Let's have some decorum here, please. Let's give
What did I do?
Let's give Mio Yoshida some credit here, man.
I did. She won the fight.
7-1 underdog.
I told you she was going to win the fight.
She was brought in on 2 weeks' notice.
I didn't even know if she was fighting.
And she took it to Ebony Bridges. She was manhandling her on the inside. She was throwing short right hands over the top. She was jaw-jacking Ebony Bridges all night. And Ebony Bridges was getting worn down, outworked, out-muscled. And
she likes that jaw-jacking, huh?
Please, Eric. Please.
I didn't say nothing, man. I'm like, because I've seen her in training and she takes it. You know what I mean? She can take a shot.
Show some class. We have women who watch
women
this show.
People. You just said we had women people. Like women are not people.
I mean,
The
you're getting me
misogyny
flustered.
goes deep with you.
You're getting me flustered here with your
I'm getting you
disrespect.
flustered.
You are just so over the top here, man. But I'm just letting you know this was a great performance, and it's always nice to see the underdog pull off an upset, and it couldn't happen to a nicer woman. Just gonna say that.
Scalebender, you're not even right. Scalebender is not even
Gonna
right.
I'm
What's
just
wrong
gonna
with you?
say that. I'm just gonna say that
Stop it.
right now.
Canceled.
I mean, please.
Come on, Eric. We want a few of those ladies to come on the show. So do I. So do I. Maybe not the show you're thinking about, but we got
Please,
something
Eric,
planned
come
for
on.
them.
We've had
You know,
we've had women on this show. We've interviewed them.
we sure
All
have.
right.
Archie, didn't you ask out one of the women on our show?
Christina
Who was?
Hammer?
Yeah.
No, I didn't ask her out.
You tried her best. You tried your best to flirt with her, and she just blew you off.
No, it's not
She
true.
did. She totally
Come
blew
on.
you off. Come on, man.
She's in my DMs. Cut it out.
She.
Stop fronting.
She's in your DMs. That's all right. Ebony Bridges is on my browsers too, so it's all good.
Yeah.
All right. ESPN, Robesy Ramirez versus Rafael Espinoza. Rafael Espinoza beats Robesy Ramirez by majority decision, 113, 113, 114, 112, and 115, 111 for Espinoza. Ramirez knocked Espinoza down in the 5th. Espinoza knocked Ramirez down in the 12th. It was back and forth. Espinoza hands Ramirez his second loss. This is how I think. I know that Robesy Ramirez is not ready for prime time. He lost his debut. He come out. They fed him some people. He looked good. They're still developing him, and he loses again. I'm just saying that's usually not a good sign, especially in Top Rank.
Yeah, this was a surprise. I thought Robesy Ramirez would be a lot more mobile in this fight. I thought he'd be going in and out. I thought he'd be using his legs more, but he stayed in the pocket. He had the high guard, and the big problem was he buzzed Espinoza a few times, and he felt like, hey, maybe I can get this guy out of here. And he stood in the pocket, and he was willing to catch. Like, he wanted to catch shots off the gloves, and he wanted to punt. He wanted to catch and shoot off the parry. And the problem was Espinosa was just really putting shots together up close. He was really fluid, and he was looping those shots around the high guard of Robesy Ramirez, throwing the uppercuts. So he was able to break through that high guard, and because Robesy Ramirez wasn't moving in this fight like he normally does, and was a little bit greedy, I thought, because he knocked Espinosa down in the 5th. He hurt him, and he buzzed him a couple times, before and after that. So I think he underestimated the durability of Espinosa, and he didn't expect him to be that busy on the inside because he's a tall, long guy, and he was actually holding his own up close. And I think that surprised Ramirez. And as a result of that, he was getting outworked up close. And he, like I said, he believed that he could get him out of there. He was a little bit too overzealous and got brave, and he paid for it. He was getting hurt because every time he landed a big shot, Espinosa would come back with 2 or 3. And he was threading the needle every time. He was looping shots up and underneath. He was varying up the shots. He just wasn't predictable. He was just finding a way to get through that high guard, and he was able to get through, and he was able to be very successful in this fight. I thought that he was getting the better of Ramirez throughout the course of this fight, and in most of the exchanges. And I thought he won this fight clearly. I was surprised that one judge had it. I was surprised that one judge had it a draw. I thought this was like 115 to 111, maybe 116 to 110, because both guys scored a knockdown. And in the 12th round, Espinosa really hurt Ramirez, and he was lucky that that happened towards the end of the round where he knocked it down, because Ramirez looked really hurt and he was holding on for dear life. And you could argue if that knockdown occurred and that shot that landed occurred earlier in that 12th round, he may not have made it out of there. He was really hurt in that 12th round. So
Yeah.
this was a huge upset. Once again, I remember on the round table, there were a few people picking Espinosa, and I was surprised. I just didn't see it, but some people did. I think he was want to say he was like a 6-1 underdog going into this fight. He was a big underdog. So we had some upsets this weekend. It was upset city this weekend, and I'm sure Espinosa and Yoshida busted a lot of people's parlays this weekend.
Yoshida, she was on a lot of people's parlays.
Eric,
They were picking the Ebony Bridges fight.
Eric,
You think they were actually betting on the Ebony Bridges fight?
Eric, please.
I'm just saying.
Show some respect, man. She's a single mom.
I'm not talking. Who, Ebony Bridges?
No,
That
Yoshida.
doesn't surprise me. Oh, Yoshida, yeah.
She's got a daughter, and she's like able to take care of her family and box at the same time. You got to give this girl credit. This young lady credit.
Ebony Bridges getting dominated. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, come on.
King KO saw it too. We were talking about the fights, man. What were you talking about?
I mean, we got a young audience, man. I mean, we got diversity here. We got females. We got people from all. We have
diversity.
We have diversity.
We have diversity.
Yeah, we have
what
diversity.
What does diversity mean?
It means we have a wide array.
Diversity, you bonehead. Diversity. Diversity, not diversity.
No, it's diversity.
Hey, Lise. We're going to call the teacher in here.
It's like tomato.
It's not tomato. Nobody says tomato.
Get Lisa in here and ask her how do you pronounce
Hey, Lise.
Diverse. Let me go on Google.
All right. How do you say diversity? Come closer. Come closer. Here, whisper it into this microphone.
Diversity?
Faced. He was saying diversity.
Either one is fine.
No. How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it?
Thank you, Lise.
Hey, by the way, the way he was talking about women on this podcast, I shut him down right away.
Watch this, Eric.
Right away. I'm not sleeping on the couch again.
Here's Google.
Diversity.
He said diversity.
Diversity.
Diversity. You bonehead.
It could be
I love
either
when
way.
you brought up Google. I love you brought up Google and
Lise
just say,
confirmed. Lisa's an English teacher. She confirmed you can say
Lisa's a math
diversity.
teacher. She doesn't even know what she's talking about. Don't worry about it.
Her
All right?
secondary major. In English.
Secondary, post-secondary.
so you could say either or, please.
What's the matter with you? Model.
Okay, we have diversity. Okay, diversity. Tomato on this show. We have a wide audience from all over the world.
According to the dictionary, it's diversity. That's all I'm saying. What is Jerry talking about? Serrano gives up the world title in protest of 2-minute rounds. What is he talking about?
So she vacated her WBC featherweight title because she was undisputed at featherweight.
Mm-hmm.
She gave it up because the WBC would not sanction her fights if she did 12 3-minute rounds, and she wants to continue to do 12 3-minute rounds moving forward, not just in that Danilo Ramos fight. She wants to continue doing that for the rest of her career. That's what she said.
Well, that's great. Where is she fighting at now? Who's she fighting? Did you even see her last fight?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't think it was televised.
Shocking.
I didn't even think it was televised, to be honest.
Xander Zayas versus Jorge Fortea. Zayas wins by TKO in 5. He dropped Fortea in the first and fifth rounds. This guy is somebody they're bringing along in Top Rank. I like him a lot. Zayas, I think he has like the makings of like another Felix Trinidad, that kind of popularity. I think he has a chance to be the next big star, one of the next big stars in Puerto Rico and everywhere. I mean, he's just solid fighter. I mean, they got him when he was 17?
Yep.
They picked him up when he was 17.
Yeah. How old is he now? What's he, like 21? Yeah, he's 21 now.
Yeah.
He's 21.
The guy could be a model. I don't know if he's in commercials or not, but as soon as this guy starts picking up traction.
Yeah. He's a likable
you know what
person.
I mean?
He's just a likable guy too.
Yeah. I mean, he'll be yeah, that guy's like another De La Hoya type of guy, you know?
Yeah, he's likable.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Upcoming fights. Let's go to I said before we go to the upcoming fights, actually before we go to the phone here, Beeb, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate
Happy
that.
birthday to the Beeb. There you go. Look at how young he looks too. How old are you, Beeb?
54.
54. That's ridiculous.
Turned 54 today.
I am 50. I look older than you.
No, you look beautiful, man.
I do. I didn't want to. I was trying to make you feel good. I just,
Don't ever sell yourself short, man.
Come on. I mean, come on. I mean, let's face it. If it was in a bottle, everybody would be drinking it. Come on. All right, let's go to Robbie here. 530. You're live.
First of all, Robbie, before we even get started.
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey, Robbie.
Before we even get started, Robbie, I want to just let Eric know.
You have to do this every week. Give me a break.
Pretty much. But anyways, so he calls me on Friday and he goes, "Happy birthday, babe. I just want to call you to wish you happy birthday."
Yeah,
and immediately, let me finish. And immediately after that, you know when the fights are on Sunday? Are they on Peacock? I didn't see them on Peacock. So instead of just calling me and wish me happy birthday, you always need something from me. Like, oh, can you go check the app on
I
Peacock?
call for multi-purpose reasons. Tell them.
Can you check the app to see if that fight with Billum Smith and Master Mac is on Sunday? And then he even goes as far as this. Can you please give me your login so I can watch the fight on Peacock? And I'm sitting there saying to myself, is that what you always just want something from me? You just can't call me and just say happy birthday. It's always something else. There's always
Omar Rodriguez.
There's only an underlying reason.
I don't know what to say here, babe. I did call to wish you a happy birthday, which your birthday was yesterday. And I thought you would be. I thought you could look it up for me, but I'm disappointed in Peacock. They didn't put it on their schedule until this morning.
I'm disappointed in you, man, because you're callous.
you know, no, I'm serious. Peacock needs to do a better job of letting people know the fights are there. But that's not why.
Why don't you put that in the suggestion box, okay? How about that?
Well, you know what? I am going to email them and do that. Because I am a subscriber.
And I'm sure you'll get a quick. I'm sure you'll get a quick response too.
No, probably not. But I'm still going to do it anyway. Yes, I did pick Prograis to win because I like Regis. But I was very impressed with the performance of one Devin Haney. I've never seen Regis Prograis be dominated like that before in a fight.
Never.
No.
I was very impressed. And for those people that don't know how good Regis Prograis is, before last night he only had one loss, and it was very controversial. That fight could have gone either way. I mean, Devin Haney dominated somebody that was world class and made him look like he didn't belong in the ring. But I got to give props to San Francisco, man. They showed up and they showed out last night. I hope there's more cards that go back there. Good for the people of the Bay Area, man. Devin Haney is not well known all over the country. He hasn't had a lot of publicity. You have to be a real boxing person to know who Devin Haney is. And they sold the Chase Center out last night, and that was very impressive. I didn't expect that, but I'm very happy to see that. And I hope they have more fights there.
How did Regis always lose when he only had one loss? What does that even mean?
Say what now?
Listen to Jerry's.
Reed totally dominated him.
Reed. I'm reading Jerry's comment in the chat, and this is what Jerry said. Just like Regis never really fought anyone, and when he did, he lost.
Josh Taylor
Regis always overrated. I mean, come on, bro. 8 months.
Yeah, he was
ago,
overrated, but he wasn't overrated on Friday. He's overrated on Sunday, not Friday.
8 months ago, this guy was the best junior welterweight in the world, and now all of a sudden he loses, and now he's nothing.
29. His record is 29-2 with 24 knockouts. How is that overrated? Are you saying all of his opponents were marshmallows? I mean, Jerry, come on. I've heard you call in here, and you always make sense. How can you make comments like that?
No, he doesn't always
Oh,
make
come on,
sense.
yeah, he doesn't make sense. Yeah, he doesn't make sense.
Don't try to gas him up, man. Don't try to grease the wheels here, man. He doesn't always make sense.
Joe, my point is, my point is, if a person follows boxing and they watch Regis Prograis enough, they know he's no slouch. How can he be overrated? I mean, give me a break.
Talk to Jerry about that.
29-2 with 24 knockouts. Yes, he was thoroughly dominated last night, and that's props to Devin Haney.
Again, by a generational talent. By a generational talent, man.
Imagine if Jerry had like a son, and he was in Little League, and the kid struck out a few times.
That kid be running laps, boy.
Oh man, you suck, man. What are you? You're embarrassing me. You're my son. You suck, man. When we get home, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, man. You're gonna be doing chores till you're friggin' 60. I mean, the guy's just such a he just has unrealistic standards.
Joe,
like everyone sucks every time someone loses, automatically they suck according to this guy.
Yeah, well, Joe, after the contract that Shohei Ohtani got from the Los Angeles Dodgers yesterday, there's going to be a lot of parents hoping that.
Wow.
I'm still blown away by that.
Stunned.
But
what is that? 7-year contract, Robert?
No, it's a 10-year deal, Eric, for $700 million.
$700 million.
10 years.
Go marinate on that for a little while. $700 million. Come on, man. That's insane.
Give me a break.
Why are baseball players the highest paid athletes? Because their union is the strongest. That's why they're highest paid. I got to be honest.
That is absolutely. Boy,
because
the NFL could take some lessons.
No, I tell you what, the MLB could take some lessons because look, NFL and NBA are the number one sports. Baseball's falling by the wayside. They're getting caught by soccer here.
I agree.
That's why they're trying to speed up the pace and everything like that and all that other good stuff. Yeah, there's no cap in baseball.
Totally
You're
wrong.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. No, and I may be totally wrong here, but I'm picking Bam Rodriguez next Saturday night.
I'm picking Bam too.
Son? Yeah, over Edwards? Yeah, Bam's going to destroy that dude.
I think that's
not even. Let me tell you what, that fight ain't even close.
I think Bam's going to knock him out.
That fight ain't even close. Bam Rodriguez, he's the man. He's the guy in that division.
Yep.
I am
convinced. No, I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win.
Yeah.
But the card I'm really looking forward to is on the 23rd. I can't wait for that card.
The heavyweights.
Yeah, the heavyweights. I can't wait.
There you go.
I think those are going to be some good fights.
Yeah, I think so too. I'll definitely.
Don't be calling me on Friday asking me for my DAZN login. All right.
Yeah.
No, I have my own, man, and props to the DAZN. I had no problems last night whatsoever. It was a piece of cake.
Okay. There you go.
Good for you.
All right, Robert, we're going to get running here, man. We're going to leave you on hold because I might bring you back on later here to talk about the PBC thing. I'm not sure. 760 Cali, you're live.
So what's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
Ryan?
How you doing today? What's up, man? I just had to talk some boxing with you guys. That's why I love calling in. But hey, man, what you guys think about Devin's performance?
Perfect. It was almost flawless. I mean, it's about as flawless. It was like a Pernell. It was like watching an old Pernell Whitaker or something like that. It reminded me a lot of the Whitaker Nelson fight, where he kept turning to Zuma Nelson and everything like that. It was just, it was incredible.
Regis Prograis landed, according to CompuBox, 36 punches last night in 12 rounds.
And what's crazy about that is that he was trying to hit him. It wasn't like he just turtled up and just took it or whatever. He was trying to hit him. He was going forward. He was trying to make that fight. and trying to just do anything he could to try to turn the table.
And you can tell that he was trying.
Devin disarmed him. Hey,
He-
Devin said he was
threw a
gonna
lot of
disarm
punches.
him. That's what he did.
Yeah, he threw a ton of punches.
He threw a lot of punches.
Mm-hmm.
Just couldn't get him.
You know, I had so many people before the fight. So many people was calling me up. They was like, "Man, your man's getting knocked out tonight."
Yeah. Go on Twitter.
Devin gonna get beat.
Oh,
Thank you. Go on Twitter. Go on Twitter Sunday morning, right? And all you hear, oh, he was supposed to do that. He was supposed to do that.
Right.
Regis is old and slow. He's overrated.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Show me the receipts.
Right. Right.
Where
I had so
tweets?
many people, you know, just boxing fans hitting me up. They just like, man, Devin going down tonight. Everybody calling me up, telling me that shit.
A lot of people were saying that, man.
You know, to me, that was like his most mature performance. Can we say that? His most mature. He looked stronger. He looked just more healthier, more mature.
Ready. He looked ready for that guy.
Man. Yes. I mean, shit. I was impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed. And I'm almost even impressed to the fact, I know people are going to be like, man, fuck you for saying that. I think he could beat Tank.
Devin?
I think he could beat Tank.
Devin rolls Tank.
Yes.
I think he can beat Tank too.
I've been saying this for a while, man. Devin rolls Tank.
You guys saying this with me. Okay, so we all going to get jumped together then. Cool.
We get jumped together, right.
That's just because Devin got some skills. He got skills, man. And you know, like the one thing that, you know, we was uncertain of is his power. That was the only thing that he was just lacking, just was his power and maybe strength. You know what I'm saying? But
Prograis had actually commented on his power after that, and he said that Devin. He said that Devin doesn't have like that get you out of there, kind of that one punch to get you. He said, but he definitely, when he hits you, he definitely gets your attention, and you don't want to get hit. He can get you out of there. He's got that much power where you don't want to keep getting hit
because he's quick.
I think he's got that Floyd power.
Quick, you know
what I mean? Where, you know, if you could have walked through Floyd's punches, you would have, but you couldn't, because he does hit hard and he knows how to hit. He's a professional fighter. He can hit.
Right.
You know,
when you're getting hit with shots,
because when you quick like that, you get equals power.
Yeah,
Speed equals power.
When you're getting hit with shots like that, you don't see, and you're getting hit clean and flush like that, that you're gonna feel it, man. You're gonna feel it.
Right. But I was impressed, man, and I gotta say he definitely, I gotta put him up there. I'm like, him and Tio, I don't know.
That's a good
fight. I ain't
fight.
gonna lie. That's like almost.
I got to favor Haney because I've rolled with Haney forever. But yeah. Like I said, man, the only fight I didn't give him was
slightly favor Tio.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't favor Tio in that fight because you never know what condition he's showing up in. Mentally, like, you don't know if he's there or he's checking out or what. You don't know what's going on. That is true. You know?
But, you know, Tio rises to the occasions, though.
Yeah.
He rises to the occasions when it's time to step up. If that Tio shows up, that Tio is dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Dominated Josh Taylor.
I would probably.
He dominated Josh Taylor.
Did.
And I thought for sure Josh Taylor was winning that fight.
Tio and Devin these guys done just pretty much took over the 140 division, haven't they? Because these guys, to me, they on top. You know, I know Ryan is there. That's my boy and all that, but he ain't fucking with these cats.
No, I don't think either one. I don't think either one.
Man, they can make good money off of Ryan, but man, Ryan just showed too many little flaws on that fight, the last fight, man. But you know, as far as, I think these guys are the best guys at that division right there, Tio and Devin. Yeah. Devin showed he's official.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You think Devin has a better resume than Tank, or you think Tank got a better resume?
Devin.
Which one?
Devin, after his fight last night, I think Devin
Okay.
does.
Devin's got a better resume.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'd love to see T.O. I'd like to see him and Devin fight.
Hey, I was getting into it. That's why I'm asking you guys this. I'm gonna take this show and run it back to the homies. Like, man, listen at this, man. Listen to resume better. Because I was getting into it with these dudes talking shit about Devin. I'm like, why people don't like Devin? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. It seems like they've always disliked Devin for some reason. I don't get it. Like I said,
a lot of people just don't like. A lot of people don't like him, man.
They don't like his style, is what it is. You know, they don't like his style. You know, he wants to hit.
What is it?
He doesn't want to get hit. He doesn't want to. You know, he's a defensive fighter, and people don't like that. People like the guys who go out there and go for the knockouts all the time, and those are the fighters. But it's hard to complain against a guy like Devin Haney, man. It really is.
Right. I just told him. I said, "Look, man, you might as well just stop going against him because he's gonna win. You know, unless he fights T.O.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then I might be like, shit, T.O. might. That's gonna be a close one right there. I can't wait to see it. You think he's gonna really move up though? Pass up all these fights at 140. You got Ryan, Rolly, T.O. He's gonna pass up all these guys and go to welterweight. I don't get that.
Who, Devin Haney?
He do that.
Devin?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
He's going to stay at 140 for a minute. He'll stay at one. There's nobody at 147. There's nobody there. Who's there aside from Boots? Nobody.
The only thing,
and Boots is probably fixing to go up too.
He's going to go up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said the only reason I could think of is if they give up all them belts and he tries to go up and try to snatch a vacant title real quick. That's the only reason I can see why he would pass up all these damn fights. Because I'm like, it's a lot of guys. It's a lot of talent in the lightweight division, the 140 division. It's a lot of talent, man. Hopefully he stays there because there's some fights I definitely want to see. I definitely want to see him and T.O. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Ryan either.
Yeah,
you know.
All right, Brian, we're going to get moving.
Where is it? Okay,
we're going to get
thank
running.
You guys.
Thank you. That's right.
You never let the guy burn, man.
I do. I always do.
You let Robbie talk for a half hour. Brian only gets 10 minutes.
Half hour?
This is horrible, man. And all Robbie does is spew nonsense, but he gets to have the half hour.
Stop it. 404 Atlanta, you're live.
You're live. Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? This Coach Eddie. What's happening?
Coach Eddie, how are you?
What's up, Coach?
Hey, good. Nothing much. How y'all doing today?
I'm okay, man.
I was really impressed by Devin Haney last night. He put on a performance, man, masterful performance.
I thought he looked great.
He made it look easy. Yeah, he made it look easy. It looked like he could have. It looked like if he went forward a little bit more, he probably could have got the stoppage, man. If he could have stepped on the gas a little bit more,
it's possible.
Because I don't know if I don't know when he hurt. I think he hurt Regis. I know he knocked him down. They hurt him again. Then he just backed off of him. I don't know if he just wanted to punish him. You know what I mean? Or sometimes those guys have, some of their friends and family have money on the fight. You know what I'm talking about? So I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of those guys, try to let the fight pull on a little bit just so that people can win their money. Because maybe a lot of people may have bet on a decision or something like that.
I bet on a decision.
It's hard to say, man.
I bet on a decision, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I figured the fight was going to go to a decision.
It seemed like he could have got him out of there, man.
Yeah, you know what? I even said during the fight, I said I wouldn't be surprised if if Regis's corner stops it, because they were looking discouraged in the corner. You know what I'm saying? And even Jack Reese was going in the corner and saying, he's got to do more than this. He's got to do more than this. So,
Well, he got beat up. People try to say that Devin doesn't have power. He does have power, because if you don't have power, you're not going to bust somebody up. But when he lands his punches, he busts people up. He busted up George Kambosos, made his face look like meatloaf. Regis Prograis' face looked like meatloaf. I mean, he's busted up. He's busting these guys up, man. And at 140, he's going to be hard to contend with, just because of his prowess and his experience. A lot of people don't understand that Devin Haney grew up in the Mayweather gym, man. That boy had a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of great fighters before that gym. You know, like Floyd Senior, I seen a lot of Floyd Senior last night with the footwork. Devin Haney fights like an old 1980, 1990 type of fighter where he uses his feet. And his feet are not, glued to the canvas with that freaking shoulder roll, trying to block everything like Montana Love, who got knocked out, looking like a clown, trying to shoulder roll and get. You got to use your feet in boxing. If you don't use your feet, man, you just freaking sit up, man. And I think that's what it is. People are not going to want to fight him because he just knows how to get out of the way just enough to make you miss. He's a master of hitting you and being in a position where you can't hit him. And along with fighting guys like Lomachenko, he learned because he's fighting quality opposition, so he's getting better and better and better. Like when he fight Lomachenko, he learned a lot from that fight. So he was able to use that experience and use it in this fight. And we just couldn't get nowhere near him because of the footwork, just inching out of the way and just keeping him at bay and just hitting him with good sharp punches.
Yeah, I agree. It was a just a one-sided performance yesterday, man. He was so good. So good.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I know a lot of people talking about the T.O. fight. I would say Devin in that fight. I just don't know if the T.O. I know T.O.'s athletic. T.O. to me, man, it's like you don't know what you're going to get with him sometimes. Sometimes he looks fantastic, and sometimes he looks like freaking, not so good. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on, man? It's like
you never know which is going to show up. Yep, you never know which T.O. is going to show up.
And that's the thing we handled when he fought Josh Taylor. He wasn't good when he fought the other guy right before him. And everybody kind of thought he lost. I forget the guy's name. He didn't look so good in that fight. You know what I mean?
There you go. All right, Coach. We're going to get running, man. Thank you so much for the call. We love you. Great call. Let's go to Baltimore. I am the king. 410, Jerry.
Where to start? Question for Dweeb. 363 punches thrown total by Regis. That's what you call a lot of punches in a 12-round fight?
He threw 363 and only landed 36. So
it's a lot of punches. It's a lot of punches, man.
You call that
I guess the point I'm trying to make is if someone's going to throw 363 punches, I would expect them to land more than 36 is what I'm saying, to clarify my point.
Yeah.
Well, would you call that a lot of punches in a 12-round fight like you did a few minutes ago?
I stand corrected. No, I would not call that a lot of punches. Unlike you, when I misspeak, I correct myself.
He's right, Jerry.
Sure.
He's right.
Sure.
So Jerry, I concede that point. I concede that point, Jerry. I concede that point.
Right. Well, that's fair enough because that's not a lot of punches in a 12-round fight. Not even close to a lot of punches.
With you.
Landed 5 jabs in the entirety of the fight. He was, I think, I wouldn't say this about him because I don't believe this about him. But Devin Haney in the last press conference finally broke down and said what he thought about him, which is he's a bum, and I'm going to show you that he's a bum. And that's exactly what he did.
Weird that they were talking trash before the fight. Because I never hear that. I never hear anybody say the other guy sucks or anything like that. That's odd. That's odd that they would talk trash before the press conference.
Until the last press conference.
That's weird to try to sell the fight. You mean to sell the fight? You mean? Yeah, that.
Well, the fight was already sold at that point. That's why he waited to the end to say it.
Was it already sold? Pay-per-view was already sold. Come on, Jerry. Pay-per-view was already sold, Jerry. Come on, stop it.
Well,
You're better
you
than
wouldn't
this.
pick up on these things.
I don't know that you are, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you are better than this.
So, Jerry, can I ask you a question, Jerry? Jerry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali called every single one of his opponents just about a bum. Would you say all the fighters that Muhammad Ali fought were bums too?
Absolutely not.
There you go.
Okay. So
how many people have you heard Devin Haney call? How many people have you heard Haney call a bum?
Probably 1 million. I don't hang
How
out
many
with him
people? I'm
24/7.
gonna ask you a question now. I'm gonna ask you a question. How many people has Haney called bum?
Called
No
Ryan
idea.
Garcia a bum.
I never
He
heard
called-
of
he
Ryan
called-
Garcia.
He called Ryan Garcia a bum before. Called
No, I didn't hear.
It's a term they use to get under your
Shakur
skin.
Stevenson. He called Shakur Stevenson a bum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he did not. You're just lying, man. Yeah, that's what you got. You just make up shit.
I love when Jerry can't prove something and he just calls
Jerry,
you
are you
lying.
on? Are you on Twitter?
I don't need to prove it.
Are you on Twitter?
I don't need to prove it.
Jerry, do you
That's
go
right.
on Twitter? You go on Twitter. Him and Shakur Stevenson go at each other on Twitter, and he called him a bum ass. Goes, you and your bum ass.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard it because it's on
Here-
paper. You have to
Are you
read it.
on Twitter? Do you
You have
go
to
on
read
Twitter? Do you have a Twitter account?
Do you know how to
go
read
on-
it?
Sure, I am.
Okay, perfect.
Sure.
All right. Go on Twitter and
And go
watch,
find
read what these two guys go back and forth and say.
Jerry,
I
what's
watched
next
a
for
bunch
Devin
of it.
Haney?
So do
This is
you
getting
think?
boring. Jerry,
Devin Haney put on a masterclass performance last night. He looked like $1 trillion. But we've seen in his last fight, and people who know boxing know that there's levels. When he fought a real world-class fighter in his very last fight, it was maybe could have went either way. He fought basically a one-trick pony. I like Regis. He's a cool guy. I get the rigmarole, the whole thing. His crowning achievement is going the distance with Josh Taylor in a competitive but losing effort. Beyond that, I guess this is a beta, very low level of competition for him. I always thought he was a decent, solid guy. Slow, flat-footed for 140. Basically a one-trick pony, just what Haney said he was. And it was exposed last night. And he looked like crap in his last fight, too. I don't say this to take away from Devin Haney because he's still got to get in there and do the job. And he done it as it was pure gold. However, we've seen in his last fight, when he's in there against a true top-level competitor, he didn't look quite nearly as dominant. So I may pick him to beat Lopez. I may pick him to beat Tank, but it ain't going to look like those fights. It won't look like what that looked like last night, in my opinion. Lopez is a more dangerous opponent. He's a lot sharper than Prograis. He's faster, and he has better footwork. Yeah. Tank Davis is not necessarily a one-track pony, but because of his power, Matias, I tell you, a dark horse that would give Haney problems, in my estimation, is Russell brother, Antoine Russell. Very strong, rugged, and aggressive. He could make for a tough fight.
Antoine Russell?
I don't think.
Stop.
Yeah, Antoine Russell.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Okay.
Can't even take it seriously.
They're probably the same guy that when Floyd fought, what's his name? He claims is his toughest fight. You probably would have been like, this guy's going to get annihilated. He's going to get decimated.
What are you talking about?
Meanwhile,
you don't even know what you're talking about. You're
fight.
just spewing off stuff.
No, you don't know because you don't know about boxing.
Who was
so
Floyd talking? Who did Floyd
claimed.
say this about?
Who did Floyd claim was his toughest fight? I bet you Eric knows.
Manny Pacquiao.
I bet you he knows.
Manny Pacquiao.
No, he's never said.
He's
never
absolutely.
said Manny was the toughest
Babe,
fight.
come. He said Manny Pacquiao was one of his toughest fights. Yes, he has.
I believe he said the drunken master Emmanuel Augustus was his toughest fight.
Augustus.
He also said Pacquiao was one of his toughest fights.
Losses.
So what does that have to do with anything?
Time and time again, Augustus was his toughest fight, hands down.
And
now he
your
stopped
point.
Augustus.
Do we have a point?
Is you don't know shit about boxing.
That was your point. You had to go that. You had to go that around in a big circle to come to that deduction. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself.
Is that the $1 million question that you have to get right?
That was it. Who was Floyd's toughest guy? Who was it?
Yeah.
Stop it. You're embarrassing.
And
Jerry.
you didn't know. You said the guy that
I said
Floyd
Pacquiao
repeatedly was easy.
Pacquiao, he
Easy.
said that was his toughest. That was one of his toughest. I've also heard Emmanuel Augustus was one of his toughest.
Never.
So what this is a multiple choice. It's not a single choice. See the difference there? All right. Tell me if this sounds like a phony hang-up.
You just don't know.
Thank you. All right. So let's talk about the upcoming fights.
That was cold.
That was cold. He's spewing out nonsense.
Now he's gonna be in the chat crying.
He's gonna be in the chat spewing out nonsense.
Oh,
he's afraid. You're so afraid of me. They're so afraid.
He's gonna call human resources tomorrow and file a grievance against us.
I I like Omar Rodriguez. Brian's calling in 10, 9, 8. All right. On DAZN, December 15th on DAZN in Orlando, Florida, Jake Paul versus Andre August, 10 rounds cruiserweights. Beeb, this isn't one of those things where, Andre August is a fighter. He's a legit boxer. I mean, he's a legit boxer.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's fighting him. This could be interesting. I don't expect it to be, but it could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andre, what is he? 10 fights in. I think Andre August has got like 10 fights or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This could be interesting. I think Jake Paul wins. I don't think they're going to risk that. I think Jake Paul wins, but I think it could be possibly interesting, man.
He's not in there with this guy's not really a big puncher.
Yeah.
Right. And he's 10-1-1, right? And this is still going to be.
How old is he? How old is Andre August?
35.
34.
So it's not too bad.
I mean, when was his last fight? Let's do this.
August 11th, 2023. But guess what?
Okay.
He's been fighting 6-rounders. So this is going to be a step up to fight Jake Paul for an 8-rounder.
Yeah.
And so
he's probably had better competition than Jake Paul.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, who's he fighting?
And then he's got 5 knockouts in 12 fights. And his only loss was by knockout. So he's been knocked out before. So he lost by TKO.
He's definitely handpicked. I'll put it that way. He's definitely handpicked, but it could be interesting. Could be interesting. That's all I'm saying. Would you buy DAZN to get this fight? I wouldn't. No. You don't buy DAZN for a month to get this fight.
So you're still on the month. You still like pop in and out. Like you don't have a steady membership.
No, I have not watched DAZN at all this year. I saw the fight yesterday, but didn't see it on DAZN. So
okay,
there you go.
We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. December 16th, Torino, Italy, ESPN Plus, Sandor Martin versus Muhammad El Marucci. 8 rounds, junior welterweights. The card's from Italy. Don't recognize anybody else on it. December 16th, Saturday, on DAZN from Glendale, Arizona. This is the one we were talking about earlier. Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Sonny Edwards. 12 rounds for Rodriguez's WBO flyweight title and Edwards' IBF flyweight title. Galauafai, on the undercard there against Rocco Santamaro, 10 rounds flyweights, and that's about it for that card. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, Sonny Edwards. Let's talk about this real quick, Beeb. I think Bam Rodriguez unifies here. I think he knocks out Sonny Edwards. I don't think this fight is close.
I think it could be interesting early on, but I think once Bam starts landing shots on the inside, starts breaking them down to the body, and the way Sonny Edwards thinks he can just lay on the ropes and just bait people in and just kind of slip and slide, but not move his feet. The body doesn't move, the torso doesn't move. So if you're gonna lay up against the ropes thinking you're gonna be like this, and Bam's ripping the shit out of your body, those legs are going to go, man, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Aaron Daly said Edwards absolutely schools Bam. But I think he's got a rooting interest there.
He's got a rooting
from
interest.
England, and he is from England, yeah.
Hey, again, it's the odds reflect it's going to be a pick'em fight. I just like Bam. I think Sonny isn't a great inside fighter. And I think Bam is very physical on the inside. He knows how to keep his hands free when people try to wrap him up. He's very fluid on the inside, and he's really good at kind of creating those angles on the inside. He'll throw some shots, step around you, and just create punching angles for himself. And he just knows how to position himself properly on the inside where he can get his stuff off, and you have a hard time getting yours off. And I think Bam isn't used to that. Not Bam. I mean, Sonny is not used to that. So I think it's going to be a very, very difficult fight for Sonny. And I think it's going to be a grueling fight. And I don't think Sonny's used to being in grueling fights with guys like Bam Rodriguez. So we'll see.
Are you surprised this isn't in England?
No, not really.
I'm
but
shocked.
It's
not in England.
I'm
shocked it's not in England.
I'm not shocked.
They usually put those fights in England, especially those, especially Sonny Edwards. I mean, that seems like it's got England written all over it. But Saturday, it's got Glendale written all over it. Yeah. December 16th, Minneapolis, Minnesota on Showtime. I believe this will be the last Showtime broadcast of boxing this year and for the foreseeable future anyway. David Morrell versus Sena Agbeko, 12 rounds for Morrell's WBA regular super middleweight title. Chris Colbert versus Jose Valenzuela, 12 rounds lightweights. And Julio Cesar Martinez versus Angelino Cordova, 12 rounds for Martinez's WBC flyweight title. Robert Guerrero on the undercard there versus Andre Berto. Really? Wow, that's a watered-down card, man. That is a very watered-down card. Remember, Danny Garcia was supposed to be on here. Arislandi Lara was supposed to be on here. They got rid of him, and we'll tell you why here in a little bit. But, yeah. December 16th, Josh Kelly versus Rourke Knapp. That'll be on DAZN, 12 rounds junior middleweights. So there you go. And then the following week, December 23rd, that's the big heavyweight showdown with Anthony Joshua, that heavyweight card from Saudi.
I'm looking forward to that.
What do they call that? They call it fight season. What is it called? What do they call that in Riyadh? It's something.
Day of Reckoning.
No. What is it called? Something season. Like
Riyadh season. I'm sorry.
Riyadh season.
Yes,
right
Riyadh
in the name.
season.
There you go. Riyadh season. Tony, did you guys talk about Ebony Bridges? We sure did. Already talked about her. Yeah. So there you go. All right. So let's go to the news and rumors here. Deontay Wilder has signed a contract with the Saudi for the next few fights. Quote, Wilder says, the timing is going to be a little tricky because what we have going on in Saudi, Wilder told Brian Custer on the Last Stand podcast, I just signed a contract with Saudi, an amazing contract with Saudi, exciting contract with Saudi. I can't mother effing wait contract in Saudi. So he's very excited about it. He said, so these next few fights are going to be with Saudi. After this, we'll see what happens, but I'm just happy right now to be a part of what's going on in the boxing industry. I'm looking forward to the future. So does this mean Wilder's out of PBC or what? I don't know.
The thing is this, he was on Brian Custer and Brian, there were fans asking questions. One of the fans asked that question. And Wilder said, well, I'm still cool with the PBC. Okay, that's fine. Like, I'm still cool with people too, that if I see them in the street or if I walk by them, I'll say hi to them. I'm cool with them. That don't mean I hang around with them, or that don't mean like that I see them every day or I do business with them. So what does that mean? I'm cool with them. Does that mean kind of mean, I don't know, man. I didn't see anybody from PBC on that stage at that press conference. No. I saw Frank Warren there. So I'm wondering if he's going to be working with Frank Warren for these next couple of fights, and Frank Warren's going to be his promoter for these next
working with Saudi,
fights.
Yeah. Could be. Shout out to Georgie who's in the chat. This next one, man, PBC heading to Amazon Prime. PBC and Amazon's Prime Video on Thursday announced a multi-year deal to deliver fights on the streaming service beginning March 1st, or in March. 12 to 14 events are expected in the first year between pay-per-view offerings and fights that will be available to Prime Video customers or Prime Video subscribers, a source told ESPN. Listen, man, I don't know. I imagine a lot of that stuff is going to be on pay-per-view. You got 12 to 14 fights there. It just seems to me like they're going to try to put an awful lot of fights on pay-per-view there. I don't know how many are going to go on there. I don't know if they're going to split it, but PBC is, their pay-per-views have not been great, put it that way. I hope that I wish we had another broadcast like HBO, where they would put, you remember back in the day, like it had to be a giant fight for you to put it on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And we got, what was it? Meldrick Taylor, Julio Cesar Chavez on HBO, you know what I mean? And you got really good fights on HBO. And when it was a mega fight, that went to pay-per-view. I believe those days are probably gone.
Yeah.
But I'm holding out hope that it's not just going to turn Prime Video into a PBC pay-per-view place. So.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those fights will be pay-per-view, but one thing I can say is if Canelo is going to be fighting twice a year, and David Benavidez is going to be fighting twice a year, and Tank's going to be fighting twice a year, that's going to be 6 pay-per-views right there.
Yeah.
So I think at the very least, you're going to get 6 pay-per-views. Guy like Boots Ennis, I don't think he'll be on pay-per-view. Tim Zhu, who does a lot of business with them, he won't be on pay-per-view. Guys like Mario Barrios. I don't know, maybe a lot of these guys will be on the undercards of the pay-per-views, and maybe these pay-per-views will be more stacked.
Maybe.
Caleb Plant, him like Jermell Charlo, will those guys be on pay-per-view too? That remains to be seen. Maybe they'll be on undercards if they headline. Like if Caleb Plant fights Jermell Charlo next year, is that a pay-per-view?
No.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think it's worthy of pay-per-view, but would PBC put it on pay-per-view? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I agree. I never think they're worthy of putting on paper. I mean, 90% of their stuff that is not worthy of putting on pay-per-view. So, that Tank Isaac Cruz fight, that was on pay-per-view. Come on.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? The International Boxing Hall of Fame 2024 class has been announced. The inductees are as follows. Beeb Michael Moore, the first lefty to win a heavyweight championship. I like that. I don't mind that. Ricky Hatton, 2-division champion, tons of big fights. Fought Mayweather, fought Pacquiao, fought all the big Kostya Tszyu.
Yeah.
I mean, big fights. He was always in exciting fights. He won a lot of 2-division champion. Right. I mean, come on. No brainer. Ricky Hatton, no brainer. Ivan Calderon. Seriously? Somebody stop it. You voted Ivan Calderon in. We're just, I know he's a 2-division champion. We're just anybody now. We're just opening the floodgates.
It's from the island, man. Come on.
Vinny Paz? No Vinny Paz. 5-time. No Vinny Paz, but we have Ivan Calderon in. Sugar Lee Groves, I know, does not stand by this list. I know he did not vote for Ivan Calderon. No way.
Sugar Lee Groves.
Sugar Lee Groves, baby. That's him. That's him, man. Diego Corrales. He'll be in the modern category. I like that one. And Diego had a lot of good fights. At one point, they considered him pound for pound with him and Mayweather before they fought. So, yeah, man, he was, I think that Diego Corrales, and he's given us won belts, won a ton, won a lot of fights, always exciting. For a big guy, he was always exciting. And once again, no Vinny Paz. Beeb, it's not fair. It's not right. I don't like it.
Is Vinny Paz, are they putting him on the ballot every year?
He is on the ballot every year, right. Now, what's his face? The one guy, Raphael, says he won't vote for him. Well, I guess he'll never vote for him. Like, for what? Like, why?
Why?
I don't know. I don't get that.
Piece of shit. I can't stand Dan Raphael, man. He's such a jerk.
That's kind of rough. I mean, wow. That was kind of aggressive. Like, where did that come from?
Listen, if you met Dan Raphael in person and you tried to extend your hand to a handshake, he would turn around and walk the other way. I've heard people say he's done that to them.
Wow.
He's not a nice guy.
Didn't know he had it like that. He's not a nice guy. Wow. There you go. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter or X at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter at ringside73, and we will see you guys next week.